We have 7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. I'll let the roll call show that Councilor Lewis is not here at the moment anyway.
Correct. He might be later.
If you're able to, rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, thank you to all who are here. We'll move on to first item, agenda additions or deletions.
I have none, Mr. Mayor.
Council,
I don't have anything.
No.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
motion
Second?
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Consent agenda. Does anybody wish to have any further conversations on any of the consent agenda items? I have nothing.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion
Second.
and I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. Public forum. Anybody wishes to speak? Anything that is not on the agenda? Will need your name and address, and 3 minutes will be the time limit. I don't see anybody jumping up. We'll move on to old business. Consider the revised offer from Butch Drews to purchase the idea road down here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. As you may recall, Mr. Drews had submitted a reduced offer for the parcel identified on the PID and on the map that was attached with the drainage analysis. We kind of talked a little bit about it at the last meeting. The council tabled the request to allow for other offers that were submitted previously to resubmit. They did not submit any additional offers, which Mr. Drews is here in the audience if you'd like to ask him any questions. However, the item on the table is to consider his revised offer.
Okay, so you did what we gave you direction to do,
Correct.
so that matter is cleared. On my copy here, the one in the computer, is asking that we also recommend a couple of conditions, but I don't see it on here. We gotta do the first one first, I guess it is.
Is that factored into the?
Or that might have a good question.
Yes, so Mr. Drews is aware that the conditions that we have placed, if approved, if his offer is approved, that the city would retain a city drainage pond with an easement over it, and he would do the drainage pond, removal of trees and excavation on the property at his cost. And the other stipulation that the council and staff had suggested was the property be developed by December 31st, 2026.
I have a question about that. What if it's not developed by that date?
That's a Damien question.
Damien?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. That would be part of the purchase agreement. If it's not developed by that date, then we can call the property back. Hopefully that won't be the case.
Should it say that in here somewhere? Because it doesn't.
The deadline it should be in the revised provision, a revised draft of the purchase agreement. I want to say provision 21. If it will make the council feel better, I can put some stronger language in there that references reversal of the transaction if construction is not completed by the deadline.
Well, I think something needs to be in there. It just says by this date. It doesn't say what happens if it's not.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna take it one step further. What are we gonna, is completion defined as a occupied house? Or if he's, let's say he's got it 90% built and it ain't quite ready to move into, would that be considered?
Oh,
I would just
which
say,
one would you say? Yeah.
I would just say, develop, the trees down and the landscaping all done,
That's what I wanted to
ready
do.
to be built.
So we don't, if you have to have a built house on it to be called developed.
Well, I think the reason we put this in here is because we've sold other properties and now they're just sitting and nothing's happening. And so we're not collecting any taxes.
So the direction staff received, Butch, just so you're aware, so you're kind of, I mean, I know you knew this stuff, but, was that the council wanted to have a building built.
Right. Well, I wanna have a building built too, but, you know, I have other lots also, but it's not like the taxes didn't go up on them really quickly. I mean, they went from, you know, a couple $100 to $1,000 a lot, you know? You know, so the taxes are really increased quite a bit on even vacant lots, you know? But, which I'm for. But I can't really, I don't know how quick the lot will have something built on it either. I'm okay with developing the lot, but I don't know how quick I will put, you know, a duplex or whatever gets on there either. I don't know how quick I'll have a buyer. You know, I will develop it, what did you say, December of 26?
The end of 2026 is what
Yeah.
council had directed, yep.
Right? You know,
The
I
current
plan,
language just pertains to the drainage and
right,
all of that.
No, actually, in the document itself, it says developed.
yeah.
I was just looking at other terms. It
And
says,
that was my
Yes,
question.
there is some other language in
How
there.
are we defining developed? Then, you know, we're through 1920 or 2025 already.
Right,
Seems like
You could
maybe a little
make
bit too strong.
You could, I mean, one way you could say is that he must apply for a building permit by December 31st of 2026.
How
And
long is
then
that good for him then?
180 days. So, I mean, if he applied and received a permit in December, he would have until June to start, and he just needs to get it started within that 180 days.
Yeah, my question, building permit. With that time limit doesn't mean it has to be built, but it has to be, something has to be going on. It has to be connected.
If you apply for a building permit, you have 180 days to start the permit, otherwise it becomes null and void. And then you have to be actively working it, otherwise it becomes null and void.
and that would be by June 27. Around.
Theoretically, depends on the timing of when the permit is issued.
Sure.
That'd be 2 years. That seems a little more reasonable.
Yeah, that, to me, does that sound better to you or?
I might sell that lot.
Yeah.
You know, I plan on, in all honesty, I might just get that lot, you know, I might clear that lot and have that all prepped. Have that lot for sale.
So if you meet.
I might not build on that lot. I'm not
Meet the
trying to
conditions of
smoke and
this
mirrors here,
purchase agreement, which is clear it,
Right.
drainage up the pond.
right?
Then if you did go ahead and sell it, then it becomes another.
Right, I don't wanna mislead you guys at all.
Because once he paid us for it and met the drainage conditions that we're asking him to meet,
Right, that will follow it.
he can,
Whatever.
there's his lot to do with everything.
Right, whatever, I will develop that lot like I said I will. And I'm not misleading you guys at all. I will develop that lot like I said I would, immediately. But I am not going to tie a building permit to it. And I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna have a building permit tied to that lot, to the economy or anything else. I probably will, and I probably will have a buyer to that lot.
So how about the conditions that we're asking you to clear to get it?
Absolutely, I wanna
And
do
you
that.
could do that by December.
I plan on doing that right away.
Mr. Mayor, just so you're aware, when it was continued, that is, the language that we are discussing is actually in the document. So if the council determines that they want to move forward with the sale, we would have to have Damien revise the current purchase agreement to remove that language, or whatever, put in whatever language that you guys would direct us to put in there.
Mhm.
Well, he could leave it in so that at least it's ready to go by December 31st. So that he
Just put in more,
does the,
maybe.
The language in there right
stronger
now is
definition.
development, yeah, so we would have to maybe just tweak that language. If you're referring to development as just the landscaping side of things, then we would have to, tweak that language.
Well, I think that's more
You
realistic.
could, if in fact the council is satisfied with Mr. Drew's plan to clear the lot, prep it for a building, build the drainage pond, drainage area, I'm not gonna call it a pond, because it's really not gonna, in 99% of the years, it's probably not gonna have water in it. And you're satisfied with that amount of development, I'll put that in air quotes, you could very easily just strike the second sentence. You could put an end date for the grading and things as of the end of this year, because it sounds like you want to do it immediately.
Yeah, I wanna jump on that right away.
So, I mean, that's a very easy adjustment to the purchase agreement.
We can do that without having to go back to Damien then, or?
Yeah, we can do it in-house, I mean,
Damien, you're okay with that if we adjust that language if they are leaning towards that direction?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Whatever the council wants, if the council is satisfied with generally what's in there and gives direction to staff to redact or add new language, I can work with Stacy and Michelle on that and get that taken care of very easily.
Damien, with that, just to clarify with that, with this purchase agreement, with that amendment, have to come back to the council?
It would not necessarily have to come back to council. If the council wants to approve the purchase agreement with the change, and we have the resolution there authorizing the closing of the property and all documents being executed to facilitate that. And if the council is satisfied with giving Michelle, yourself, and I discretion to tweak that language, we would not have to come back to council if the council is comfortable proceeding in that fashion.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. We want to make sure we're not approving something that's going to come back and bite us. So that's why we have an attorney. I'm good with that myself. I think once Mr. Drew owns that lot, it's his lot. I think we're asking too much to say you have to have a structure or even a permit, in my opinion. The condition we're putting on this purchase of the landscaping setup is obviously okay with you and it would be with me. I can't speak for the others.
Just further discussion allowed?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would agree that a December 31st, 2026 timeline for having someone built with like the current economy in terms of the materials needed and everything, that might be unrealistic. I mean, fiscally and time-wise. And so I would motion to approve this with the amendment, removing that the property must be fully developed and just have it be that landscaping portion be complete by December 31st, 2026.
And all the other, purchase agreement. You're good with everything else?
Yes.
That's a motion have you got that?
Yep, we got it figured out.
Okay, we have a motion,
second.
we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That carries. All right, good to go.
Nope, not yet, you gotta approve the
Second
resolution.
No, we don't have to, it's not definite here, that's why.
Yeah, you move to amend the purchase agreement terms now, you still need to approve the resolution, though, please.
Oh, okay.
And actually, just so I can jump in there, and also if you could speak to the revised offer. So that will be in the resolution 2539, authorizing the sale along with the purchase agreement that is on there with the revised offer amount. that was not specified in your conversation, so I make sure that that's
Almost like you
clear.
were saying, doesn't it?
Kind of, but yeah.
Well, that-
If it needs to be separate, then.
Yeah, that it does need to be separate.
Come on,
Yeah,
so,
Oh, are you?
I can make that motion as well.
Follow up on your first one, I guess.
Yeah, I'll motion to approve resolution 2539, authorizing the sale of real property to Bernard Drews with the revised purchase agreement that was previously discussed. Or are you asking for amount to be mentioned in there as well?
Well, yeah, just,
probably.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, at the amount of 40,000.
at the amount of $40,000.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Sorry, we have more than a second. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that carries. Okay, now,
Okay, go play in the dirt.
All right.
Thank you all very
mind
much.
you, we'll be
Thank
seeing you
you.
at
I
home
appreciate
security
it
here
very
shortly.
I'll connect with you and set up closing stuff.
All right. Thanks again very much.
Thank you.
Government, right.
Well, it should get done.
Okay.
5.2, I think it is. 5.2.
Okay, we have to, okay, these are all separate, all right. 5.2 ordinance 875, amending zoning ordinance to add definitions, and this will be the final reading.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is the final reading of ordinance amendment number 875 to amend the zoning ordinance definitions for cannabis retail business, cannabis retailer, and lower potency hemp edible retailer. There has been no changes since the initial reading.
I don't recall there being any issues on the first reading, but we have to open it up.
Thank you for all the work.
By all means.
I would make a motion to approve ordinance 875, amending the zoning ordinance to add definitions, final reading.
We have a motion,
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, and that carries. Ordinance 876, and that's referring to the RM1 residential manufactured housing.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is the final reading of ordinance amendment number 876, amending our RM1 residential manufactured housing district to add in the language of accepting the expansion of existing legal non-conforming mobile home parks, which would be the one that we are currently working on, which is the Sherburne Village.
Okay, and this is the final reading. Again, I don't recall any questions the first time around, but we'll
And
over
there
it
hasn't been
again.
any changes.
Yeah, it was just a learning opportunity for me. That's about it.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 876, final reading.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Moving on to 5.4, ordinance 877, the B1 Central District, Central Business. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is the final reading of ordinance amendment number 877 to amend B1 zoning district to allow cannabis retailers and lower potency hemp edible retailers in accord with the buffers and the language that is below and underlined. This is the final reading, and there's been no changes since the initial reading.
okay, same routine. Anybody else have any more questions? Hearing none, I will accept the action.
Motion to approve ordinance 877, amending the zoning ordinance B1 central business.
Is there a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, that carries. 5.5, ordinance 878, and that's B2 Neighborhood Commercial Business District.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is the final reading of ordinance amendment number 878, which is the B2 neighborhood commercial district, zoning district. The language is to exclude the cannabis retail businesses and lower potency hemp edible retailers in this zoning district. There has been no changes since the initial reading of this ordinance amendment. And I would also like to point out that if this is approved, we are officially done with cannabis for a period of time.
Until further notice.
Now, don't ever say.
I'm not gonna
All right, and again, there was no changes. And I don't recall any the first time, or any questions or directions the first time around, so.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 878, amending the zoning ordinance B2 neighborhood commercial business district, final reading.
We have a motion,
Second?
and a second. Any further discussion? Here now, in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That carries. All right. The last one for now. New business, resolution 25-40, donations for Splash Park, free days.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Resolution 25-40 is 2 additional free days that we have recently received. One from Venture Upward contributing $300 to offer a free day on July 22nd, and another one, first one that we've had ever, that I know of. We had an anonymous property owner that came in, contributed $300 to offer a free day, and actually it says 2 free days, it should be 1 free day, on August 9th.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Okay. Anybody have any?
I did have a question, sorry.
Right.
You're saying it's the first time an anonymous donation, just in general, not in reference to whoever that was. Do we ever like consider where the money's coming from and have any like checking or concern or, I mean, just so we don't have maybe like a random citizen like from the past that we don't want to be associated with, connect money to
Oh.
the city.
I was like, I don't understand the question.
What are we talking about? Name something like.
So technically on the application, I know the name, but
Sure,
they
okay, that's,
requested to be
Yep.
anonymous.
yep, no problem. I appreciate that.
But that is a good thought.
It kind of delicately danced around, but that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
But you know who it was, though, internally, when they've asked to remain anonymous.
Correct.
And that's, I think that's the only.
Anonymous but known.
Anonymous, but, oh,
Yes.
yes, on the advertising, signage, and city council agenda, they would like to be anonymous.
Okay.
Not fair enough, because you did, and you do know, not like somebody dropped $300 in the door.
I mean, I don't know them, I walked in the front door and I talked to them about it, but yes, I know the person.
Well, that's, I think that's, I think if that happens again, I would say it's a yes.
Yeah, tell them thank you.
Behavior.
We did, so they did. And I will tell her, that person again. Okay, we better
Yeah,
stop.
We could get in trouble here.
I'll make a
Apologies.
motion to approve resolution 25-41. Oh, sorry, 25-40 for the 2 donations.
Motion,
I'll second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that one carries. 6.2, resolution 25-41, and that's a twice new clothing grant, for the fire department. Or ice suits, we'll never have to use them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the pictures, they look kind of interesting. I wouldn't want to have to wear one.
Well, somebody could fall in Green.
I know,
River.
Steve, you want me to take it? He's muted.
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. So the fire department actually solicited, the Twice New Clothing will, accept letters of requests. And, they, were kind enough to grant a donation of $5,000. It'll be primarily used for these funky looking, ice. I thought it would be fun to plug a picture
It was.
in the memo. Anyway, ice suits, and there'll be some left over, and so there'll be also for some general helmets and other types of duty shirts and things like that, that for the members, so.
Out of curiosity, how many does that buy?
I'm sure it's gonna depend on, which brand. This particular suit, was listed on the internet at like $625. So, but I don't know what brand.
I can answer that if you like.
Go ahead, Steve.
So they list from anywhere from 650 to 750. We're looking to replace 2 at this moment, the 2 that leak. And one thing you want for sure not to happen when you're doing an ice rescue is to have leaky suits. So we're looking to at least replace those 2 and buy some additional safety equipment.
Okay, now, were they really hard, those specific about exactly what it's spent on, or do we have a little bit of leeway there? So,
They're usually pretty flexible.
okay, how many do you have? Like,
We have 8 ice rescue suits. There's a shelf life on them because they basically rot, like lot rot for vehicles. They're neoprene and they're adhesives that they deteriorate over time. So we will have to replace more as we go, but right now we have 2 that are out of service.
and I'm not suggesting we park that money somewhere in a hole, but, I mean, you have to kind of look at it down the road and say, well, we've already gotten money maybe, and that might be an accounting nightmare too, I guess.
Yeah, we're not, I mean, typically when we receive donations, there's a need and the department will make a wise choice as to, do they buy 2 or 4 or do they buy some other safety equipment?
When I made the request, I included the other the duty shirts and also other unique rescue materials, and they became enamored with the ice rescue suits. So that's all that got mentioned.
But I think you did address that it would be open to other, as long as it's valid safety stuff, and you're not just buying a silver teapot or something. So, anybody else have any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 25-41, donation from Twice New Clothing to the Princeton Fire Department for ice suits and others.
Yeah, I was gonna say either not ice suits or ice suits.
I'll second it.
Any relevant safety? Okay, I have motion and a second. Further discussion? God, I hope they never leave town.
Yeah, fantastic.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that's trace. 6.3, resolution 2542, donation Friends of Reeby Dog Park for, I'm reading this handwritten note here.
Mhm.
Are they asking for anything specific, Bob, or is this?
Michelle actually took
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
So, I received a phone call, before the 4th of July. Actually, Lynn took the call, was very confused, so I took the call. It was a very nice lady
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
telling me about her 2 chihuahuas that got hitched at the dog park. And they took donations, free will donations that they wanted to give to the city to assist with improvements to the dog park. Specifically, I think it might be in the letter, it's a little hard to decipher, but she talked about like the fence needing repair, especially to keep the little dogs from escaping and those types of things. So it's just however far we can stretch the donation.
And any donation is appreciated by all means, $110 probably doesn't go a long way, but it's something.
And then it mentions at the fairgrounds a potential pet fair, which got my interest.
Yeah, well, they have not reached out to us for that. so.
Sure.
Make a motion to approve resolution 25-42.
Okay, we have a motion,
Second?
we have a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then that carries. Well, George, we saved the best for last.
Well, I don't know if I can beat the Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. There's a resolution on your agenda relating to the issuance of bonds. Michelle, I believe, handed it around, or maybe in your
Yeah, it's in the
inbox.
packet. The bond sale summary is in the packet. It's the second document.
I'll hit the highlights here, council. As a refresher, this is a bond structured over a 10-year financing term for two purposes. One, to finance the North Water Tower rehab project, and second, to purchase a fire truck. So it is, and this has happened in the past where water is under the purview of the PUC, but the city is issuing bonds on their behalf. So on June 25th, the PUC board adopted a concurring resolution concurring with the city council's action that you will be considering tonight. As part of this bond, we worked with Michelle on the assignment of the city's bond rating. The city has a AA rated bond rating, and any municipality in the AA category, those are considered very strong credits. There's two highlights that I put into the sale packet. One is the first bullet point talks about your fund balance. You've got an existing fund balance policy to maintain 30 to 50% in reserve to cover general fund expenditures. You're currently at, or a year end, if you will, of 24 was 46%. So that's considered a credit positive that you've got strong reserves. The second is the strong growth that you've seen in Princeton. Over the past 5 years, your economic market value has nearly doubled, reflecting strong commercial and industrial growth in the industrial and business parks, along with new residential development as well. So those are the credit positives that are associated with the city. In terms of the 10-year financing, those bonds were priced this morning. The true interest cost is 3.76. So basically that's your weighted average interest rate over that 10-year financing term. Couple of good questions beforehand about resolutions in the packets having blanks. I think we answered that, but just to restate, the resolution that comes ahead of time and gets in your packets, and that's standard, council, is we don't know the final interest rates, final principal amounts until today. So that's why there's blanks. And second, the preliminary resolution would have a dollar amount tied to it. It likely said bonds is priced, or bonds, I'm sorry, sized at $1,370,000. Tonight, we've got a bond sized at $1,260,000. So you might say, George, where's that $110,000? A way that bonds are priced, and this happens on nearly all publicly offered bonds, is that bonds are priced with a premium. And that's where the investors that buy the bonds are willing to pay a premium to earn at a higher rate of return. So that premium comes back into the bond issue as revenue for the city, and we use that to downsize the principal on the bonds. Essentially, it works out as a push to you, the city. You're borrowing less money now, but at a higher interest rate, and it kind of works out as a push to how we started the transaction. It would be higher principal amount with a lower interest rate. So it's just a way that the investment public prefers to purchase the debt. Your city administrator was involved in the process on some pricing calls that we had. Michelle's next job, I think, is as a bond trader. And she understands the lingo of the bond world, so, that was appreciative that you were part of that process. And just as a little more information on that, we talk about the market in general, we talk about, what are the factors influencing the market, what are other sales in the market, et cetera, and then price the bonds accordingly, and then have a follow-up call after the bonds are priced to see if there's opportunities to reprice in certain areas that maybe we could tighten or lower the interest rates. So that was in general the process that we followed today. The bonds are again issued with a 10-year term, final maturity in 2036. It'll have a little bit later call option, 2033. That's the date when you could more than likely not refinance, but perhaps pay off bonds if you desired. And then the date that the funds are available is August 6th. So, Mayor and Council, that's the highlights of the financing. I can address any questions you may have.
The utilities and they'll be taking care of it right up front.
Correct, so, so the council is aware, what is it, 880 or 890 on our part?
Yes, and good question, thank you. The overall size of the bonds is about 2/3 city. So the fire truck was the bigger item at 880,000.
Yep.
And the water tower rehab, 435,000.
So that portion of the issuance that is in the city's hands, so to speak, that money will be sent to our bond proceeds account that's with US Bank and Morton LLC, because we don't need the monies until next year sometime. So those dollars will sit in an interest-bearing investments. So we'll make some money on our money before we have to use our money, if that makes any sense.
But the interest that we're paying, and that still accumulates too, though. So it
Correct.
may not be a wash, but it'll offset it certainly. So.
Correct. Our first payment on the bond isn't until August of next year.
That's correct, August 1st, interest-only payment.
Correct.
Pretty significant.
Yeah. So I just want to let the council know that the money will be placed in an interest-bearing investment so that it can make some interest while waiting.
Isn't a real common situation, but it's probably certainly a good way to do it, the way it looks to me, because
Yeah. So,
we know we're gonna spend that we know we're buying a fire truck.
yep, the contract's been signed. So.
All right, does anybody else have any questions for George? And hearing none, I guess we can probably take action.
Make a motion to approve resolution 25-43, bond issuance for 2025 for fire truck and water tower rehabilitation.
We have a motion,
Second.
we have a second. Any further discussion? Last chance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
Okay, we'll move on to 6.5, the bill list.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else?
I have a question. I hadn't seen it on there before, under building inspection, MinSpec payment for 16,000, I was wondering where that one.
Yeah, so MinSpec is who we contract to do all of our building permit reviews and inspections, and we pay them every month.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they get a portion of our building permits, and we hold a portion of our building permits.
Awesome. Perfect. That's my question.
Okay, anybody else?
Love it.
No, but I learned what bank shot sports was and what a bank shot is. I was like, holy cow, and then I'm like, never mind, that makes sense. So, did my own homework.
And Derek did notice that under THC, one of the bills says drinks.
Yep.
I did thank him for
Yep.
that.
Not explain to you, say like,
Or
police department buys meth.
I mean, it happens. Makes me wonder, what's the public works gonna buy next?
Get my thing shot.
Well, if nobody else has anything, I move to approve the July 10th, 2025 check register containing checks 89603 to 89643 and ACH payments 251368 to 251401 and 710251 in the amount of $413,622.31 and the pay period 14 check register containing checks 251411001 to 251411065 and 2514167 to 2514174 in the amount of $168,947.12.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Administrator report.
With the holiday week, it was, pretty quiet. Charlie Bravo has been delayed a month, but they're still moving forward. We had issues with our software vendor for finance this week. I appreciate everybody's patience and assistance as I struggled a little bit in getting the bills put together. So we learned a little bit. Hoping to conduct interviews next week on the accountant position. We spent quite a bit of staff time and conversations and email and finally in person with Sherburne County this week and somewhat last week. They need to, or they have, their contractor suggested closing the Northland leg of Rum River and Northland so that they can basically finish the intersection work, not under traffic. And so we worked with them on identifying the least obtrusive access route for getting people to the businesses, Quick Trip, Mike's Discount Foods, McDonald's, Caribou. It's a short closure. We also worked with Sherburne County to install some temporary traffic control at the intersection of 5th, 11th, and Old 18 near Mark Park. Especially given the fact that we have Town Ball next week coming. So we want to make sure that everybody's safe and that everybody has a good night. And then last but not least, LMC did a legislative summary, which is attached. I thought it was pretty good. Normally, they also do a 100-page, more detailed analysis of the bills that came through. Of particular note, just so those of you that might have to take advantage of doing remote, you no longer have to be in a spot that is accessible to the public. So you can just be remote and we'll just do it. So that's it. That's all I got.
I'd like to make note of that total amount of bills during the legislative session. That was interesting, kind of record-setting number of bills. And then also, if you need any support in promoting that closure of the roads during that period of time, let me know. And I can do what I can online for socials.
Yeah, we're, I don't know if Sherburne County's posted anything yet or not. We just usually try to, we're letting them because it's their project and then we just try to tie to their, whatever they post, so.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would ask that between social media and the newspaper, if they're here, we're looking for patience and focused with attentive driving, given all the signs we have right now, trying to figure out where to go. So we'll work through it for 3 days.
Well, it's unfortunate that they have to coincide with that, but can't plan that. I mean, that's the way it is, you know. But I mean, the project to me, you can't say they're not working at it. I mean, they were out there working a couple Saturdays that I was aware of.
Mhm.
I think you gotta give them credit. They realize what a pain in the butt it is for us, so they're trying to get it done, so. We're back up to the finance thing, and I'm gonna ask a very unintelligent computer question. Does this glitch we had, does that have anything to do with what we talked about Tuesday night? Or no, or whatever we're doing there?
No, that's just for scanning.
No,
Okay.
no, this was so our finance data and software is hosted.
So two separate issues.
Yeah, it's,
But
and
again,
there's gonna be two separate pieces of software, so.
yeah, and I wasn't gonna blame it on that, I'm just saying, what is the new
No,
program gonna,
it's one of the
You can-
downfalls of having.
you can tell me a computer is whatever, and I'm gonna believe this one. So, okay,
Oh, yeah.
anything else? Any other questions for Michelle?
Nope.
All right, move on to committee reports. The Public Utilities Commission has not met. We'll be meeting next week, hopefully, or the week after. Other than the North Bar Tower, I know the photographer has been doing a nice job of keeping us posted on that, the progress. So going, according to Scott, going very well. I think he said July 15th, they hope to have it online, if I remember right. So, that's a good project. We have paid for it. Okay, I have nothing else. Anybody else have anything?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either.
Does that housing committee meet, and should I be at maybe filling in if it comes up?
Which one's HRA?
Yeah.
That's a cat thing.
So I reached out to Kat a few times now, because she, and I had talked when I first started about her coming and giving the city council kind of an update yearly on the HRA. So the last time we spoke, she was gonna bring it to her board to see when her and a board member could come. I was hoping it would be tonight. I reached back out to her again to see, when would work for them, and I have not gotten a response. She is a little bit hard to get a hold of. So I would say that's who you want to get a hold of for that question, but she is tough to get a hold of. So hopefully when she comes here to give her presentation, you can.
Yeah, do an introduction. I just didn't know my predecessor was listed as being the person who's the liaison for the council.
Mhm.
And so if I'm needed in that capacity, let me know.
Good. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not carried. We are adjourned.